What is going on, ladies and gents? It's your boy Funkadelic Jones. Welcome to the Get a Wealthy Show, man. Before I get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, run that thing up. You feel me? Mr. Funky Love Jones always keeps it always oh so funky with you. Keep it so smooth. Hey, man, go Thunders. They gonna beat the Pacers. But, hey, we ain't here for all that. Let's get funky with it one time because just like the title of today's episode is what we're going to be breaking down. You either adapt or you get left behind. And this direction right here goes a number of ways, right? And I'm going to cover it in so many different ways, starting with the workforce, right? Now, I'm never going to tell somebody don't go to college, right? Because college only benefits certain fields. You can't teach everybody how to be a doctor, right? You can't go on YouTube and learn how to be a doctor because you got to realize doctors and surgeons, again, you mess with somebody's heart, somebody's brain, one bad snip, you can take somebody's life, right? You can't teach that. You can't teach that on a computer. I'm being real with you. An engineer, like, bro, do you know what you're building as an engineer? You can't teach those things. You can't learn that on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? One wrong cut or wrong one, and it goes haywire. So you can't learn those things online. You gotta sit in the class. You gotta learn the in depth of it. It's not like going on YouTube and learning how to change your oil. I'm sorry, Jiffy Lube. I'm sorry, mechanics, but you can go online and learn how to change your oil. You can learn how to go online and change your brake pads. You can learn how to go online and do those type of things. So I'm not knocking a mechanic's job or how to change a transmission and stuff. I mean, I'm not knocking them for doing it, but I was like, those are things you can go learn how to do online. If you really want to put it to the test, you can learn how to be a barber online. At one point, you had to go to barber school and stuff like that. You can literally sit in front of a computer for like 30 minutes a day and be like, okay, cool, let me make sure I get the fade right on. Ooh, I went too high. All right, get you a little mannequin doll, whatever the case may be. That's how girls learn how to do their own hair. Put their own sew in. They learn on what? They learn on YouTube. So jobs like those, there's a difference between like, yes, you need to go to college for this, and this is just a skill. It's a complete difference, right? But when you look at our parents, and I look at our aunts and our uncles, and people who grew up in a time when the world was a lot simpler, they didn't learn to adapt. They didn't learn to move as the time. They stayed in one position. Like this time was the golden era for them. They gonna always be this. Back in my day, you gotta realize that's why some people are stuck. Some people back in my day. Well, guess what? We're not in your day anymore. The world don't operate around your day or your time anymore. The world has already left you 20 years in the past. While you saying back in my day, this, that, I'm like, you're left. You're gone. So I think the number one thing is this, like older people, I try to get them to understand. They always sit back and complain and say, well, people nowadays don't want to work. That's not true. It's just you got to realize having a job and working a job for 40 years is no longer the blueprint to working. You know what I'm saying? Getting up, clocking into a job and going there every single day for 40 years is not that no longer exists. It's still there, but no one's doing that anymore. You see how I'm saying adapt? You got to understand the new way to move in the working world is two things: skill and networking. Networking. I said that wrong. Networking. Skill and networking are your two best options nowadays. Especially if you want to move up to get a decent salary job, it's about what you know how to do and who you know. That's going to get you faster. And they keep trying to say, like, well, people be job hopping. Job hopping nowadays is the blueprint to moving up relatively faster. You talking about sitting at a company and just be like, well, I'm going to wait my turn to get promoted. Well, I'm going to wait my turn. You've been at a company for 5-10 years and then be like, all right, I'm going to get promoted soon. All right, I'm going to get promoted. And then on top of that, because guess what? While you sitting at that company, then every time you get that annual raise, you only getting what? 30 cents, 60 cents. Meanwhile, while you staying loyal to a company and you getting them little penny raises, it ain't doing nothing. I think for my job, right? I think the maximum I can earn in my role, I think is 35. I'm already at 30, right? How long you think it's going to take me to get to 35? It's probably going to take me about 7 years. Why? Because they not kicking out raises like that. Raises like 25 cents, 60 cents. That's all you getting. So by the time you even get to that cap, you're going to be burnt out. You sitting here fighting for a job and you just like, bro, I'm not getting nowhere. By the time I even get to the max, the world keep on going. I'm over here like, all right, I'm going to get there eventually. The world is gone. I'm going to get there eventually. Meanwhile, the world forever just rapidly changing. Meanwhile, I'm still going to get there. Instead of you saying like, you know what? Cool. I'm getting this right here. When I can go bounce over this job, boom. Now all of a sudden you getting a bigger salary. You learn skills over there. Take all the skills you learn, boom, you jump over here. Now you getting you a somewhat of a decent salary. Now it depends on depends on what it is that you do. Now if you're in a high paying type of field where a degree is required, you're gonna make even more money. You feel me? So you start here, okay, boom. You learn right here, go to this firm, they paying more. Go to this firm, they paying more. Go to this agency, boom. That's how you build. You build off of skills and networking. That's it. All right? That whole staying with a job for 40 years thing does not exist. I can tell you right now, as hard as I work, your average everyday Uber driver make more than I do. I done seen people out here doing Instacart making $2,000 a week. I ain't even lying to you. Now, granted, after taxes and all this and that, you break it down, they still probably bringing in what? $1,700 after taxes? Not after taxes, but after gas and maintenance and all, they probably still bringing in like $1,700. You know how good that is? To still be bringing in after all of that? Like, what? Meanwhile, I'm in here going to a job every day. And I'm looking like, all right, all right. Like, I'm going to get there soon, eventually. So, again, to the older generation, they got to understand that it's not so much of we want to be loyal to one company forever. It's just that's not it. It's too many opportunities to make money. I sit right here in front of you and I'm over here doing a daily talk show. I'm doing a daily talk show. Eventually trying to grow this. This can be part of my arsenal. I know a lot of people nowadays, they hate the hustle culture because they be like, man, some people just want to get a 9-to-5. Some people want to just get a 9-to-5 and not have to work all day and not have to work for a living and this, that, and third. I agree with you 100%. Some people shouldn't have to be working 7-8 jobs at the same time, but that also you got to realize of where you live. All right? Because your 9-to-5 may be cool, but your 9-to-5 is like, it still ain't getting you nowhere. AK, you live in a place like New York, you live in DC, you live in California, more expensive places where You need to hustle a different way because it costs more. Versus you may live in a state where taxes and stuff are not that high and the cost of living is not that high. So a 9 to 5 can do just wonders for you. It all depends on where you are. You like that doesn't apply to everybody. It's like some people have to in they have to put themselves in hustle culture, not because they want to, because they have to. And you got some people that just doing hustle culture just because they want to. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Like we can look at it from sports. Sports in the working world is two different they're two different things, but they're in the same boat. You gotta remember back in the day, players stayed with one team forever. Right? Kobe stayed with the Lakers until he retired. Magic stayed with the Lakers until he retired. Jordan stayed with the Bulls until he retired, came back, retired again, then came, but still, through his peak, he was with one team. Larry Bird was with one team. All these different people, right? The last person that probably did it was Steph. One team his entire career. That was the blueprint back then. Dirk, Tim Duncan, all the people stayed with one team till they retired. That was the blueprint back then. You wonder why these players nowadays are team hopping? Because they're not that whole building a dynasty, building a roster thing is not really the move nowadays. We're just okay, cool. Let me get this piece. And then the next draft we get this piece. And then the next, these owners nowadays they're not slow roasting no more. They're not all right, cool, let's get us a point guard. Then the next year we're gonna get us a big man. And then the next year we're gonna get us we're going to the draft trying to build a roster. They're not doing that. They ain't that joint hey, who's available in free agency? Who out there? Oh, okay, well, we need to get him. They try to get every star player that they can get on their roster, even if it's too many egos, too much drama in the room, personalities don't work. They try to win a chip. That's all they care about. That's the ultimate goal. Get what you need to get what you're trying to get out of it. That's simple as that, though. Same thing again with college football, college basketball, period. Right? The transfer portal. Some people say it's the worst thing ever in college sports. But now, the transfer portal is basically free agency. And you got some coaches who won't adapt to the transfer portal. They'll sit there and be like, nope, we're still going to do the old-fashioned way. Nah, they over there this player hey, I'm unhappy at this college over here. I want more playing time. I want more exposure. I want this. So what do? Transfer somewhere else. They don't get a hit. Transfers. By the time they're senior year, they didn't probably play with 3 different teams. But you see how forever that's how things are adapting and changing. You either have to adapt with them or you get left behind. So whether it's the working world, whether it's the working world, whether it's it's sports, all these things, it's just showing you what type of world that we're living in nowadays. Hell, I can be honest with you. We can even throw relationships in there. If we really wanted to, we can throw relationships in there. Because relationships aren't the same way as they once were, probably when you was growing up. When I was coming up, relationships was easy. You could write on a note, hey, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe. And just pass a note to her, right? That's how simple it was. Dates was literally going to the movies. It's going to the movies. Or y'all literally could just go walk in the park or something like that. That's what dates were. Before you spent any money, you did the low level dates. But then nowadays, when you look at the dating world today, I'm not saying those low level dates and stuff don't still exist, but they get overshadowed by what is the new blueprint to dating? It's transactional and sex, right? You like some guys think on the first night, oh, if I'm spending all this money on you, I'm cracking on the first night. Some ladies thinking like, oh, you want to talk to me in the grocery store? Well, you need to pay my groceries first, and then I might give you my number. Oh, this phone that I'm on, you gotta pay this phone bill to talk to me. That's the new way of thinking about it. Like transactional dating, networking in the workforce, getting on whatever team you can get on to win a chip. Like you see how the world is adapting on a day-to-day. And then with social media coming out, social media being the new news anchor, all these different, like people are now adapting around social media because of the simple fact that social media is the new outlet. You can't start a business in today's society without social media. Let's be 100% real. If you're a barber out there and you're trying to build clients, the first thing they're going to say is, hey, you got Instagram, you got a TikTok, or you better be on some type of social media because social media is your new platform. It's your new portfolio. If you don't have nothing to show for, people ain't just walking in there doing business with you no more. No, this is not the old school way of getting haircuts and getting your hair braided and stuff like that. No, they want to see your work online. They want to see you do a clip. They want to see you do a 10-second reel. They want to see you do a before and after. They want to see you do all these different things because that's the way the world works. Even for a tattoo artist, the same thing. You can't sit there and be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I'm looking to get tatted up. Hey, man, like you should rock with me, come by the shop. You on IG? They want to see some of your work on people's arms. You a neck tattoo, they want to see all that. If you don't have nothing to show, they're not going to rock with you. That's just the name of the game. They not going off of word of mouth no more. It's show and prove. What do you have on paper for me to want to sign with you or be with you or work with you or spend my money with you? Oh, you selling dinner plates? Let me see some of your plates online. I'm not just pulling them to your shop. I'm not just pulling them to your shop and order the macaroni and cheese, and the macaroni and cheese look dry as hell. No, I need to see online so you know, them greens like a little soggy. I ain't gonna mess with you. That's what people are today. So again, you either need to adapt or you need to or you're gonna get left behind. Either step aside or you're gonna get left behind. But you need to learn to adapt because the way the world is going, you have to make that choice. You have to make that decision. I'm not a parent yet, but I'm never gonna tell my kids, like, I'm your parent, I know what's right for you, I know this, I know that. No, I'm going to sit there and be like, look, the world is forever changing. Like, I know, like, back in the day, it was simple. For me, it was simple. Like, you guys nowadays, y'all got, like, our parents may have it simple. Then when me and my siblings and my cousin came up, you know, okay, the world was still kind of simple. Now that my little cousin them, they go into their 20s. Now we live in such a social media, streaming, digital world, stuff like that. It's, you know what I mean? Now again, I got cousins, the younger cousins, like my nephew and all them, when they get in their 20s, the world's going to be different. Hell, that's just the way it is. You got to learn to adapt with it, or you got to keep it, or keep it moving, or you're going to get left behind. It's really just that simple. But hey, that's today's word of the day, man. It's your boy, Funkadelic Jones. I'm gone. Peace out.